Has your puppy or dog just developed a lump after being vaccinated or after having any kind of injection? Well, today I'm going to talk about what that might be and what you should do about it. Question number 2 is from Louis, who writes that we bought the puppy with his first set of vaccines, but we noticed that he had a bump on the back of his neck a week later. So we contacted the person that sold us the puppy, and he told us the exact part of where the bump was, and he said that was where he put the vaccine. But Louis is wondering what he can do. The person who sold the puppy said to put ice on to reduce the swelling, but Louis is a little bit worried and scared. So let's start off by saying that a small swelling after vaccination or any injection is completely normal. Now that can last for a few days to a couple of weeks or so, so it can last for, quite a wee while. Now, if you are getting a lump, or if you've noticed a lump on your puppy or your dog or your cat immediately after an injection, and like I say, that can be a vaccine, but it could be any other kind of form of injection as well, then you absolutely could put a cold compress on in the first couple of days, and that can just help to reduce any swelling. After this time, so after kind of 2 or 3 days though, the cold compress isn't going to have any benefit. We want to switch to a warm compress, and that will encourage blood flow to the area where it will bring all of the kind of the healing substances to that area to sort out that lump and to get rid of it. Now, other vaccine side effects, I've discussed those in episode number 6 of the podcast. But lumps certainly is one thing that we do get, not too irregularly. Now, of course, it might not just be a vaccination side effect. It could be that we're developing an abscess. So it could be that a dirty needle was used or a poor technique was used. It could also be another skin problem. So it could be something like an insect bite, an allergy, a wound. It could even be a cancer, although in a young puppy, that's very, very unlikely. And this kind of, I guess, raises one concern with potential issues with non-vets giving vaccines. So, what's their injection technique like? How was that vaccine stored? Are they using clean needles, or are they just reusing them on multiple dogs, multiple puppies? Do you actually have any proof that it's even been done? Now, not suggesting that every puppy breeder is going to be dishonest like this, but those are all questions to ask. Now, if you get the vaccines done by your vet, then these are going to be more reliable. There's going to be more of a record of the supply chain for that vaccine. They're going to be monitoring the fridge temperatures to make sure that the vaccines are actually still going to work. You're going to get a fresh needle every time. You're going to get someone who's giving countless injections every day giving them, so we're less likely to get things like abscesses and other problems there. Now, as well as a vaccination, your vet will also give a comprehensive health check on a puppy, and that's always a good idea before purchase, because you're going to want to know if there's a heart murmur, if there's an umbilical hernia, if there are any other problems that you might want to consider before getting a puppy that might change your mind about whether that puppy is right for you and your family. Now, with this puppy, if the lump is growing, if it's irritating them, or if it's been present for more than a couple of weeks, then actually an aspiration biopsy or an FNA, a fine needle aspirate, like I've just discussed in the last question, may be in order. And that's something that you should talk to your vet. You should get them to check over this lump just to make sure that there's nothing else going on. There's no antibiotics that they need, or there's no other treatment that they might consider. So yeah, those are the things to consider if your dog or your cat gets a lump after they've had an injection.